All right, Marion, I've stopped sharing my desktop and transfer desktop to you. And what I'd like you to do now is we have already run the data for Mercury, Venus, and Mars based on the programs we showed earlier on the CCRS. In the case here for Dow Jones, and the settings that we use for Mercury, Venus, and Mars is shown briefly. This data sets were processed. You can show them how you use the three data sets coming out of Mercury, Venus, and Mars rates of change database to create the projections we use actually currently in Paradigm for the Dow and the Dow trading signal, which we'll discuss in a few minutes after this. Okay? Go ahead, take it, Marion. I'll mute myself. Thank you.
Okay, this is the CCRS file, the Planetary program we have running. These are the settings. I have made a photo exactly before I have run the program. So this is the start date, the end date, and the 48 harmonics. We have run Mercury, Venus, and Mars with all natal bodies and natal midpoints. Okay, this is the CPM program with the Mars file inside it. This is the first run we have run with Mars. The rate of change are 1 to 122. 7.5 degrees step. The rate of the change are 1. Okay, this is Mercury. The rate of change is 1 to 63. Exactly the same settings, just the rate of change. It's changed. Okay, and this is Venus. 1 to 161. Okay, so again, this is the CCRS program with the settings. This is the CPM with the Mars run. This is with the Mercury run. And this is with Venus. Okay, so we got three different files, three different forecasts. Right now we will just open them, then add them together and make a sum. Okay. Okay, we'll just put the dates and the price inside it, the columns. Now we can graph it. This is the sum of Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Okay, we'll graph right now from 6/3/2013 until the end of February. Move it to a chart, put the average inside it, we usually use 5 days move average. Okay.
Okay, Mary, let me jump in and help you with this explanation a little bit. The red dotted line is the output from the CPM program, which is actually a rate of change per trail based on the databases that we ran with all the transits of Mercury, Venus, and Mars against the databases for particular angles and cataloged every occurrence of every aspect in the history of the Dow Jones in this case. And when you see this red line output, Marion, when you get the graph finished, we'll take a look at the actual data set. You see the red line output, what we're looking at is the final number. If you want to go back and show the data real quick, the actual data. Okay, that number in the R column is a final number, which is a summation of the rate of change projected for Mercury and for Venus and for Mars way prior to any events that are occurring. As you saw by the data that Marion showed you, the last price data in this output is 2011, December 2012. It's October 2012, right? Last price data. Okay, October 2012. So the point is that this is all projection based on a rate of change, and there are approximately 200 to 300 transits every day that represent that one final number that add up in the database to create one final number that's given a 5-day moving average to pre-create or precast our price line. So what you're looking at is in reality a derivation of what's happening in the sky compared to what happened on Earth over the history of the Dow Jones since 1910, then referred into the future by the process I discovered relative to the sweet spot, what I call it, I discovered that makes this all work and actually creates, as I see it now, a live signal that the price more or less must obey. And I feel when the work is accomplished, as I would say when I finally make my goal of making the black line fit the blue line, we're going to see that this price is much more determined than we ever suspected. And not just prices, earthquakes, everything that we saw in cycles. Everything is controlled. The control mechanism is planetary motion against the solar flux. This is what you're seeing here live in reality for the first time, I think, actually presented to the planet. So that's why we're so excited here about the work. This is truly a breakthrough. It's truly a discovery of a new physical law. So, Marion, let's go ahead and show them the data does match up. You can tell them more about what you're doing. I'll mute myself and go ahead with your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. So for updating, let's show how we are updating. Okay. We just take take the price file from Genesis and simple just put it on the spreadsheet. Okay. Okay. Let's see how it's looking. Okay. This is what Dow Jones has. This is recorded, updated. Okay, we have update live.
Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see that again in action. It's a live update. It's very exciting. See how well the price line obeyed the command of the blue precasted laid down by the shadow signal. There it is. Just back off now. Quick back so I can see where we were a few days ago, where we are now with the Dow. There, that's how it looked before we did the update live just now. And click again, and that's what happened. Zoom in again. See how nicely it's following the pattern. Okay, and that's how this has happened since we started Veradigm November of 2012. Okay. Now, you want to go ahead and show them how we actually transmit this data to Trading Planets to the website. Let me pause the recording for a while, and you can actually do an update of the Dow right now, show them what it looks like now, live on the website, what it looks like when you update your data and what they're seeing, okay? And we'll be ready to move on to the next segment. All right, I'll mute myself. We'll pause the recording until you're ready to show them Trading Planets, okay? And we'll pause the recording, and we'll pick it up in a second. Let me get this. All right, I'm pausing now.